What's up? I'm back once again. I'm back in the building. Back in the building once again. I told you guys for the rest of the month, I will be doing double headers. Uh, I told you the evening panels or the evening show will be more panel oriented. So you can call in. You don't have to be on camera. Well, I would hope that you're on camera, but you can call in. Just having a conversation about your addiction to TV, streaming services, or social media. Let's see. Artie is in the building. Artie says, not addicted to TV or streaming. I am addicted to YouTube since sports went woke. Was a diehard sports fan before. Thank you so much, Artie. Got Leander in the building. Salute to you, Leander. Positivity is definitely coming your way. Hope all is well with you and yours, man. Let's see who else is in the building. We got Big Time in the building. Salute to you, Big Time. Positivity is coming your way. I hope all is well with you and yours. Let's see who else do we have in the building. Give me a second. Who else do we have? We got here for the T. Says we are back. Yes, we are definitely back. I told you again. I'm gonna be doing night shows. Told you. Who else do we have? We got Seven Steel in the building. Salute to you, Seven Steel. Positivity is definitely coming your way. Says hardest working man on YouTube is CT Chaotic Truth. Thank you so much. Who else do we have? We got Sam in the building. Says CT. Let me see. Bob says he's addicted to YouTube. Let me see. Here for the T again says I am definitely addicted to YouTube. Wow. Let's see here. Who else? The poll question is, are you in a relationship with your phone? Yeah. It's a weird poll question considering the fact that, the question itself, I didn't explain. Well, obviously that's up for interpretation. But the reason why I asked that question is because I feel like people have created some sort of what is the word that I'm looking for? It's a specific word. Let me see. That's not how you say it. Let me see. Is that the way you say the word? Hold on for a second. No, I'm saying it wrong. That's not how you say it. That's not how you. I think that's how you say it. Is that how you say it? Aerosat? I think I'm saying the word wrong. Well, anyway, I'm saying the word wrong, but I feel like a lot of people have some sort of weird attraction to their phones, to the point where you almost create like an intimate partner out of your phone. Sounds weird, but I noticed that when people lose their phones, drop their phones, I noticed that even when, and I know a lot of people don't like sharing, but even when somebody says, can I use your phone? It's almost like they're asking you, can I sleep with your significant other? Like, oh, you want to use my phone? Why? Why is that? Why do you want to use my phone? Or even like when you lose your phone or your phone breaks, it's almost like your significant other has been broken to a degree. And I feel like, human beings, you create some sort of quasi type sexual relationship with your phone, if that makes any sense. I know, I'm going into left field with that, but it's almost like, you ever been out, like, for example, right? I've gone out with many people and it's like they can't keep their phone in the car. They can't keep their phone away from them for more than like 10, 15, 20 minutes. They they have to keep looking in their phone. Like, you ever been out to eat with someone and they pick up their phone every 2 minutes? They pick it up every 2 minutes or something like that. And it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. Like, they're not paying you any attention. Sort of like how when somebody's in a relationship and they're madly in love. So it's possible that people have created, not not all people, but I would say about 85% of people have created some sort of, you know, some sort of fantasy about their phone. So are you in a relationship with your phone? And like I said before, people sleep with their phones in the bed. I mean, and I'm not joking. Don't they? Don't put a one in the chat if you sleep with your phone. People sleep with their phones. Um, it's like they cuddle with their phones. And I know people are looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Mm. So, have you created a relationship with your phone? Is the big question. Now, back to the main topic. And the main topic is, are you addicted to TV, streaming, or social media? Yeah. When I was a kid, especially like Gen Xers and baby boomers are the worst at it. Not Gen Xers, but baby boomers are the worst. They, you know, you go into a house, right? Especially when you were a kid, and many of your friends, if you're a millennial, many of your friends were boomers, or your parents, your friends' parents were boomers, and they would be so addicted to the TV, man. And like, a lot of people don't know this, but back in the 90s, well, a lot of young people don't know this, but back in the 90s, I remember that TV guide. Remember that TV guide? Used to get it in the grocery stores. They used to sell it, or it may have even been free. I can't remember. But anyway, you would get this TV guide, and the TV guide would have all the TV programs on local and on cable. And I remember people, you know, they would highlight which show they were gonna watch. They would highlight they was, schedule their day around, shows or whatever. And to a degree, that was addiction. It was addiction. Yeah, back in the 90s, man. All this stuff going on now isn't new. So they would schedule their days around TV. And it's gotten worse with with social media, streaming services. I mean, you have people who binge watch TV, not TV, but binge watch shows now, because what TV could not do, streaming services have done. You can watch an entire series in 2 days. So, you have a lot of people, now they're at home all day. They order Uber Eats, they're in the bed, playing with themselves in between watching shows, eating, and it's pretty much created like a self-loathing, hedonistic behavior. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So, this addiction to laziness now, and we already know social media is even worse. People don't get off of TikTok. These kids, man, like, they're addicted to TikTok. And these kids now, I see it all the time. Like, they're filming themselves doing retarded dances, doing some sort of retarded challenge. Um, it's this addiction to fantasy almost. You know, I not that I'm looking, but you rarely see children outside like you did in the 90s. You rarely see people out and about. Not rarely, but you don't really see people just out and about like how you did in the 90s. And like I said, it's easy to just be in the house watching TV, watching some streaming service, and not really engaging with people. And me personally, man, I do not like being out with people and they're on their phone. I'm like, dude, you might as well just not be here. To be honest with you. Normally when I go out, I will just leave my phone in the car, or I will just leave my phone turned off because it's absolutely rude. It's absolutely obnoxious for you to be talking to someone and every goddamn minutes they're looking at their phones for something, you know. But yeah, the phone has become a very, very, I would even say, evil thing, evil contraption if you use it in the wrong way. So yeah, guys, I want you to call in. Let's talk about it, man. Let me see. Astro says Gen Z is the first generation brought up on social media their whole lives, and look at the result of it, a trash generation. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Even when I was teaching, a lot of these kids would just be obsessed with these stupid games, and they have their phones with them. God forbid they couldn't have their phones in the classroom. The kids would go crazy. And they'll go crazy because, I know a lot of people are thinking that I'm just trolling, but they've created some sort of gang bang relationship with their phones. I know it's hard to fathom it, but it's this fear of losing the phone. Like in a relationship, this fear of losing your significant other, this fear that you won't get coochie. And what is the reinforcement for coochie in terms of a phone? It is that gratification I get by, being able to use this app or play this game or making sure somebody's calling me or something. This illusion, this stimulus, the stimulus. So yeah, let me see. Adam says, I remember the 90s show Quantum Leap. AI or Al had a smartphone. It seemed unthinkable. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of things now, many science fiction shows, like the iPad was in, I gotta say it, Star Trek The Next Generation almost 40 years ago. But what seemed almost impossible was just something that, that's pretty much common now in our day and age. But good point, good observation. Distance Light says, yeah, but parents don't want to do things with their kids and would rather stick them on devices so that they can be quiet. Well, yeah, you don't need to be a parent then. And that's my argument with that one. I'm not a parent, but you shouldn't breed kids you should not breed children into this world if you're going to allow the iPhone to babysit your kids. Gone are the days of parents playing with their kids all day. Let's see here. Who else is writing in the chat? Thoughtless Animal says, if you don't have a smartphone, it's like you don't exist. Yeah. Thoughtless Animal. You know what our smartphone was in the 90s? It was a bike. That was our smartphone. It was a bike. The bike was our smartphone. As a kid, the bike was our smartphone. The ramp that we created, that caused the injuries of many kids, that was our app. That was our app. Yeah, the bike was the iPhone. The app was the little contraptions we would make for adventures. Hauling ass down the street and gliding off of that ramp. And somehow we didn't kill ourselves. I don't know how, but we didn't. We survived. We survived the 90s. Let me see. Let me see. JP says the smartphone in the 70s was street hockey. I didn't know that. Thoughtless Animal said playing in the woods. Absolutely. Playing in the woods. Think about what playing did as a kid. You developed social skills. You developed courage, hierarchy. You understood hierarchy. Think about the type of games you created, critical thinking games. Whereas these kids now, unfortunately, man, maybe they suffer from depression. Kids, when I was a kid, I never even heard of the word depression when I was a kid, to be honest with you. And for damn sure, kids weren't killing themselves. If it happened, we didn't know anything about it because we were always active. The body needs to be active. The body needs to be active. And I'm telling you, man, laying up in the bed all day, playing video games on your computer or watching something on streaming services and masturbating in between, that's not life, man. And I know you guys are like, what? No, stop it. We all know what goes on when you're lounging around all day. I'm the chaotic truth for a reason. I'll stop. You know what I'm talking about. Stop it. Stop it. Let's see here. Samuel says that's intentional. Make life as inconvenient as possible without digital devices, creating dependency over time. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Your brain does activate when you walk. That is definitely true. That is definitely true. Let me see. Let me read some of this real quick. Give me a second. Thoughtless Animal must be a 12-year-old because Thoughtless Animal says we need our phones in case of an emergency. Thoughtless Animal, believe it or not, the cell phone is relatively new, and people survived for a very long time without cell phones and during emergencies. We didn't have any cell phone or any cell phones. See, and this is what I'm saying. Thoughtless Animal is in love with their devices, but we didn't have any cell phones or anything of that magnitude back in the day. We didn't. And we survived. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, give me a second here. I dropped that link though. Give me 1 second, guys. I just gotta make this text message, believe it or not. Let me see. Rock the Big Gun says, John Small says, best show on YouTube. Luis says, I'm glad I did not grow up with social media. Yeah. Yeah, like I keep on saying, man, it was a different day and age back then. JPD says, no way CT would have grown up in my all white town in South Jersey. And why is that? Artie says my internet was down for a day and a half. It was terrible. People will go insane without the internet. Isn't it crazy that there was a time when we didn't have the internet? Remember that? Remember we didn't have the internet? People read books. They actually turned pages, actually hung out. Remember back in the day when people hung out on the porch? Remember when hanging out on the porch was our streaming service? Hanging out on the porch, talking, playing games, getting to know people that we didn't see before in the neighborhood. That was our streaming service back in the day. Let's see here. JPD says, just kidding, my man CT. I would have had your back, brother. Oh, okay. We went to the library. Yes, going to the library was the thing to do back in the day. Yes, that was our internet, going to the library when we all could confab, and it was like the central hub. I remember those days too. I remember when the library didn't even have the internet in it. The internet. We just went there and read. We read books. We read books, man. It was so different back in the day. And I feel so bad for people nowadays addicted to their phones, man. It's weird. Rouse Girl says, I still hang out on the porch. That was the chat. Yes, hanging out on the porch was the chat room. Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, man. Are people addicted to well, are you addicted to your TV, bro? Streaming services, or what are you addicted to, Rock?
Man, I'm be 100% with you because that's why I usually am with people. It's hard for me to lie. It's like Tucker Carlson said the other night. He's like, when you tell the truth, it becomes powerful, and the more you tell the truth, the more power you get.
Mm.
So I'm be truthful, man. Yeah, I'm addicted to probably video games.
Yeah.
But that's my thing, so I don't spend too much money, right?
How old are you
So
again?
I'm 30 something.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's my thing to not spend money and not get into trouble. You know,
Mm.
that's my crutch. Maybe I think it's maybe because when I was growing up before I was 18, I wasn't allowed to have video games because we didn't have that much money. You know,
Yeah.
every time I got a game system for Christmas, it was gone a couple months later. You know
Why
what I'm
was it
saying?
gone?
Because the family would get hard up for money. And what's the
Mm.
first thing going to go? You think the family's going to go and pawn the freaking what they need, or they're going to get rid of the kid's toy that can go down the ditch and play? You know?
Mm.
So like
Go ahead.
me all growing up, I was in the woods, I was in the ditches catching tadpoles and raising them to frogs and just doing all kinds of crazy, building 3-4 story tree houses and stuff like that. You know, like
Yeah.
running and jumping into the bushes. You know,
Mm.
just doing fun, crazy stuff. And yeah, man, people are definitely addicted to social media. From the research I've seen, it releases endorphins. Like every like is like an endorphin
Mm-hmm.
released, like, and you get more likes. Like you can see a lot of these girls that it especially affects women a lot more than men because women are always looking for the second, the gratification of somebody else likes what you're doing. You know, men really don't care about that. We kind of go off on our own. We don't really care if somebody else has a negative opinion. When we hear a negative opinion, all that does is motivate us more. But when a girl hears a negative opinion, they think that they're actually telling them the truth, like
Okay.
there's something wrong with them. But social media is one of those things that keeps it. It's a fake. It's a fake. It's
Yeah.
all fake. Like
Yeah.
it's not reality, and that's why it's more. People are more in social media than they're in reality nowadays. Go into the store and try to talk to somebody in line. Hold the door open. They're gonna say thank you half the time. They're gonna say something back half the time. And it's just because everybody's so divided, I feel. So online they can get on here and say all this crazy stuff because they don't have, they're not willing to put their name on it or their face. uh I don't really care at the end of the day. I'll give you my name, but I'm not trying to do all that. I ain't trying to do all that. I live in a city where there's only like 10% black people. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to put myself out there like that.
Do you think most people are in relationships with their phones? I know it sounds crazy, but it's sort of like a quasi type
It's an
relationship.
idol.
Yeah. Okay. Idol. Okay.
I would call it an idol
Okay.
because a lot of people they can't even get around town without the GPS. If you took their phone away, they probably couldn't go to work because they wouldn't remember how to get there.
Really.
Like it's just I had to catch myself doing that because there for a while I used the GPS for everything,
Mm.
and I was like, hold on, dude, what? I'm letting the GPS tell me where to go, where I need to go. I need to do this myself, because I remember the days when we didn't have GPS.
Yeah.
We had to figure it out. If we didn't know how to get there, we're gonna start going down that road. We're gonna figure it out on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, everybody wants the answer. They want the answer quick, quick, quick. All right, Google. I don't believe anybody else but Google. If I Google it, I believe Google. But they don't believe regular people. It's one of those things where I don't know where it's gonna go, and I don't know. I really don't, man. It seems really bad. But thankfully, how society normally goes, whatever the mainstream is, the youth kind of rise up against that. Like whatever mainstream is going, like all this LGBT and all this stuff's mainstream. It's in the news. Who's backing it? The news, the government, all these people are backing it. So the young kids that are growing up right now, yeah, they're going to get into it for a little while, but they're going to realize real quick that they're being used, and then that's going to be the counterculture. The counterculture is whatever the normal culture is, and what the normal culture is a bunch of this garbage, So I think people are they're not really getting on Facebook anymore. Like the young kids aren't getting on Facebook. I guess TikTok.
And what do you think that is?
I guess TikTok's the new thing.
Let me see some. Sam says, I read how London taxi drivers develop better brains than the average population back in the day because they had to use their memory more. Oh, yeah, I could see that. But go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this could be really leading to more neurological problems down the road. Because if you're not exercising a muscle, you lose it. And your brain is basically a muscle. So when these people are 40, 50 years old, they're going to be already in early stage Alzheimer's because they don't ever use their brain for anything. They're just robots. Punch the clock, do the same work over and over every day, clock out, do that for 20 years, retire. Like these guys are robots, and they're just getting programmed by social media. But unless you're on Twitter seems based. It seemed pretty.
What do you think is going to happen to a lot of Gen Z? It's people in the chat saying Jay Rillo said Gen Z is going to be really messed up. What do you think is going to happen to Gen Z about 20 years from now?
What is Gen Z right now? Like 20 and under?
About 20, I don't know, like 15 to 22, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I have some kids that I know that are in that age range. And I can tell you almost all of them went through the drug phase. But they're out of the drug phase already, and they're not even 23 years old. So now they're in the phase of trying to learn and grow and build themselves. So I feel like they're a little bit more quicker than we are. Well, normal people. Me, I kind of started out early, but normal people don't get their life started really until they're 20, 22 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to do okay, man. Because it's the same thing. The mainstream, there's going to have to be a counterculture to this mainstream. And the counterculture to the mainstream is basically being a conservative. Because the mainstream's so liberal, this and that. You know what? If you want to go kill yourself, go kill yourself. Whatever. We'll help you. It's too much. These kids are going to be like, nah, man, I don't think so. No. I'm not gonna, even if I agree with it, I'm not gonna go along with the government. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go along with mainstream news. They all wake up one day and they're like, hold on.
When I was a kid, we had video games where if you lost, like let's say you were like, because we didn't have like memory cards or this, that, and the other. So you could be 3/4 of a way through a game. If you lost, you had to go all the way back to the beginning, right? I feel like kids nowadays don't have that. They have memory. I don't know how they do it now, but I know the saved games. They have all this stuff. And I think the games are easier. I don't really play games. And I feel like kids don't have that. You lost. You got to go all the way back and do it all over again. And I feel like that used to build it built our character. Whereas kids nowadays, they don't really understand defeat. and that's probably why you have a lot of depression, a lot of suicides with 9-year-olds. Never heard of that. But what say you on that though?
Yeah, adversity builds strength. And if they're trying to make everybody equal and to where they never have any adversity in their life, they're not going to be they're going to be blobs. You know, like they're just going to
Mm,
be human blobs, and it's going to go with the flow and just do whatever the news tells them or whatever the government tells them. Just like this last couple years, that thing was a big old psyop to see
what was?
who was on their team and who wasn't. And I saw
Okay.
it from a mile away. I was like, "Hold on, let me sit back and watch." Damn, there's still people walking around wearing masks. There's still people walking around wearing
Mm,
masks.
okay.
There's still people that are so into it. They're just waiting for the next one. It's almost like the preppers, the doomsday preppers. Now
Yeah.
we got doomsday preppers for viruses, and
Okay.
they're proactive. So like, if you try to go get hired at this one spot, well, you better have your shot. You know,
Yeah.
just like in the social media world, if you're going to be on there, you have to get your ESG score up. If you're a company, look, the basically what I seen earlier with Mr. Beast. Do you know who Mr. Beast is?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
One of the largest YouTubers.
Yeah, I
I've
know who Mr. Beast
watched
is.
him for a while just because he was younger, and I wanted to. I feel like if I hit the subscribe button, I'm kind of helping him out a little bit. I'm giving him another number, right?
That's good. Yeah.
Well, one of the guys on there is now a girl, and he has a wife and kids, but he's a
Mm,
girl now. So it's just this is just going to keep spreading over and over again. Social media was kind of to bring it in.
yeah.
There's a lot of robots on there. I don't believe that Obama has so many followers. I don't believe all these
You don't
people have.
believe that?
No, heck no. Look at the response they get when they put a post up. Okay,
Mm.
if you have 50 million followers and you put a post up and you can't break 500 likes on it, I'm sorry, sir.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're fake.
Yeah.
Just like some of these people, you can tell. You got to look at the mouth. I'm trying to tell you a little
Mhm.
secret real quick. You got to look at the mouth. If they're talking and their mouth is just straight across like this the whole time, it's something's wrong. Like there needs to be movement. There's need to be a lot of movement when somebody's talking.
Okay.
And if it just seems straight, if it seems too perfect, it's probably AI. I can guarantee you that.
And I feel like they've been doing that for a very long time. Money Muse says we had Atari, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Boy. Then everything else came along. Yeah, you lost. Or yeah, if you lost, you definitely had to start over. Yeah, I'm telling you, when I was a kid, man, and I feel like this is the difference between yesteryear and now. There was really no instant gratification in the 90s. And mind you, it was kind of getting soft in the 90s. But when you played a video game, for anybody who's like 20 or 23 and younger, and you were halfway through, 75% way through, and if you lost, you had to go all the way back to the beginning. It wasn't until I think PlayStation came out where they had memory cards. But I feel like you didn't have a lot of kids and I feel like that right there allowed the kid to understand defeat. Were there times when we used to bash up the game system when we lost? Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But but I feel like now the kids they lose, and it's like, oh well, I could just respawn again and play my game from the save part again. And I feel like that's why you have a lot of kids who are suicidal when the real world hits the fan. Smitty, what say you, sir? People addicted to TV, streaming, or social media. Go ahead, sir.
Uh, yes, absolutely. I would
Mm,
never forget. I would never forget one time I went on a date. It was the shortest date ever, and
mm,
I realized did what I'm about to tell you. I did. So We sat down. We're talking for a bit. We go ahead and we order our meal. Now, mind you, I'm the type of person, I always make sure that I make it clear my phone is on the table, but it's turned screen down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
cause
Yeah.
to me, that's,
I
you know,
understand.
to let you know, right? It ain't screen up, screen down, but it's on
Yeah.
the table, you know. So anyway, the food came and I'm up here, I'm reaching my hands out. She says, hold on, babe. I said, oh, nah, you just take a picture of the food before you prayed? Oh, nah.
Mm.
See, that's where I was getting to. She was more concerned about I got no, wait. I got and look, I'm trying to look. So I say bump it. I go ahead, pray, and then I'm about to dig in. She say, hold on, I gotta get yours. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up. Like, no, you don't. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Get that out of my face. So
Yeah.
I do believe that it definitely has a lot to do. Yes. Now, me, CT, yes, I sleep with my phone, but that's a habit from because my phone was my alarm clock. It was my alarm
Mm.
clock to get up in the morning. I don't have a regular alarm clock, so I set the alarm on my phone and I set the
Yeah.
phone right there on my little nightstand by my bed while it charged, so I can get up.
Mm.
But other than that, nah, I definitely get you. That's why me and a lot of women nowadays aren't compatible because I'm that guy. Like you gonna hate me when you realize I don't want to be that like co-star in your little fake show you trying to do because you want to record every waking moment of our lives. You know, everything has to be on camera. You know, everything. So no. But CT, no, I would say, sir, the first form of social media, sir, was three-way calling.
Yeah. Three-way calling. I remember.
Yes, three
Yeah.
way. That was the
Yeah.
first form of social
That was.
media. Was
Yeah.
three-way calling, man. You get
Yeah.
home from school,
Yeah.
you and your
Yeah.
buddy. You remember how it
Yeah.
was. You and your homeboy call up a chick, one of y'all like
Yeah.
y'all be on the phone playing this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
man. Things are definitely different. And you know what's crazy? That's why I believe that those of us around our age, CT, we're the best of both worlds. Because we really do
Mm.
remember the days of when it wasn't, and we also know now.
Yeah.
There are
I
some people like
mhm.
you know, have to remember that. But no, go ahead. What was you saying?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Uh-huh. No, I was not. I was just saying as far as I just remember that like every waking moment wasn't built around something on a machine. You know, having fun to us was like catching light bugs and stuff like that. So hold on one second.
I
Let
got.
me 1 second, CT. 1 second.
Mr. S says phones and laptops have made the TV obsolete. Yes, they have, Mr. S. I do have a similar story uh, that's from Smitty's story, and it's females that are millennials. This thing about taking photos of food with your phones. I think that's the stupidest thing ever. I think it's absolutely stupid. Uh, it's a self-loathing that it's indescribable how much a lot of men hate in terms of when a date is doing that. Is this I have to have everything in my life the center of attention. So on my social media page, I want you to look at this lobster dinner or this ham and cheese sandwich because I don't have anything else going on in my life. So here goes the photo. Boom, there you go. Uh, do you
Yeah.
have a similar story like that, Rock, with people taking photos of their food?
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah. But this girl is actually kind of chasing me, so I don't knock her too much for that. She
He
made
said I ain't
me.
smashed that.
She made me. Well, no, actually, I broke it off with her because she's too much. She's too much.
Right,
Mm,
right.
She's retired. Like she's retired and stuff already. Believe me, she had it going on, but she had too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say
Got
that.
you. Got you.
But
Right.
when I went on a date with her, to the where did we go? Like a seafood place, right? Nice
Mm-hmm.
seafood place. Get whatever you want, lobster, whatever. I don't care. When we were leaving, she was like, "Oh, hold on, take a picture." I was like, okay. I'm like, all right. I'm not a real big picture dude. I take a picture of her, right?
Yeah.
Take one picture. Say, oh no, let's take a picture over here. Bro, by the third picture, I was about to lose my shit. I was really about to
Yeah,
lose my
man.
shit after the third
It
picture.
it,
Because
it gets annoying.
I'm like, hold the hell on. I'm with you right now. Me and you are on a date, and you
Yep.
worrying about pictures for who? Are
Yep.
these pictures for me? Or are these pictures for you? They're for neither of us.
Yep.
They're for the social media. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I got onto her about
Everybody who's
that.
not here.
I removed it. Bro, listen to this real quick. She's on Snapchat, right? Posting stories and stuff or whatever. I had to message her one day and delete her from my Snapchat because I told her, I said, you know what, you're real funny with those two kids, but you going out every other weekend. And you talking about you want a man at the house. You want a man to help raise the kids and stuff, but you going out every weekend. You know, when you talking about you need help with this, you need help with that, but you going out on the weekend. I deleted her, bro. I didn't hit her up for a while. I still don't even talk to her because she disrespected me. That's disrespect.
You know, if a kid were to ask me, and Smitty, you said that back in the day. I mean, you sleep with your phone, but if a kid were to ask me, what was, you said you do it because of alarm clock. I get that, but if a kid were to ask me, well, what did you do in the '90s when there were no cell phones and you needed to wake up? I would tell a kid, my alarm clock was just waking up. There was no alarm clock.
It was. It really was.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm agreeing. It was. Yes, it really was. Yeah, just waking up.
There was no alarm clock. You just woke up.
It was like
it
we had a natural sundial.
Yeah.
It's like we had a natural sundial going on.
We still have that. It's just a lot of people don't. They rely on technology so much, man.
Yeah.
If I really want to wake up at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, which I usually do. I wake up about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I wake up before my alarm all the time. You know, so it's like you got to program it in your head. A lot of people are not using their brains to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
How they build pyramids back in the day, but we can't have a person put together a tent, from Walmart. They got to have instructions.
Well, Rock, my main thing with it is like the whole like, all right, so I get it. We'll never know when we pass away or whatever. You want to get memories, leave behind some footage and stuff, All right, I understand that. But you know something, man? There have been times I've gone to some beautiful places and I ain't taking no pictures. Now, I remember I was once again with a chick. So what? You don't want to take no pictures of it? Actually, I'm doing that right now. She's like, no, you're not. Your phone away. I'm like, no. You don't get it. I'm taking pictures right now. I'm doing something we always used to do, and that was capture a memory.
Yeah.
People don't even like truly the real essence of capturing a memory. Yeah. I don't have to record this right here. I just want to be here.
Yeah.
And for real, I'm incognito. I don't want nobody else here with me except for who's here with me. So I'm just going to enjoy this, but a lot of women don't get that. They be thinking, nah, you just trying to keep from your other bees seeing it. No, you just don't get it. I'm just not into that, but yeah.
Remember when TV shows, and I remember this, you had to wait months upon months for the new season to begin, and you have to literally wait to watch new episodes. I feel like everything is just too frequent.
It is. I mean,
yeah. Go ahead.
Well. You got to think, CT. Like even down, like we ain't even gonna talk about months for a show. Let's just go to just waiting for the new, like when Saturday morning cartoons ended, and they were like next time on such and such, and you had to wait all the way till next Saturday. Cartoons used to come on at a certain time on a certain channel. Wasn't no cartoons on all day. You had to catch cartoons. You had to catch The Simpsons. You had to catch your Saturday morning cartoon lineups and stuff. And they were on for a certain time. Then right after that, on TV. It either went to some kind of news or Golden Girls or MASH. I used to hate that when the Simpsons go. That's how I knew it was bedtime. You talking about alarm? I knew it was bedtime when the Simpsons went off, and then I hear the theme song to MASH. That was like a lullaby. I swear, I go to sleep.
Crown Reese with the $5 super chat says, CT, if you pray at night, for a fact, you will wake up when you pray for God at night. Facts. Okay, I think you, okay, wait a minute. Okay. CT, if you pray at night, for a fact, you will wake up when you pray to God at night. Facts. Okay. Crown, I
riddle me this back, man.
I think he meant to say, if you pray at night, for a fact, you will wake up to pray. Okay. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Crown Reese. I'm trying to read that. I think he meant it a certain way. But salute to you, Crown Reese, for the $5 super chat. Can anybody, you want to interpret that real quick, Rock? Or
I'm trying, but I don't think I'm fucking high enough for that.
Yeah, I think he means if you pray at night, you can get. I think he wants to say God wakes you up early to pray again. So that's your internal alarm clock. Okay, I could rock with that, Crown. Let me see. Yeah, it is Ebonics, JPD. Again, Crown Reese, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that, man. Positivity is definitely coming your way, man. I really appreciate that super chat. Let me see. Mr. S says you gotta blame sativa. I haven't heard that word in a long time about a drug. Let me see. Seegan says I'm old enough to remember the national anthem before TV went off for night. Yes, I remember that back in the early 90s. Yeah. And like the TV would definitely go to some sort of white noise. I remember that too. Let's see here, because people didn't stay up that late back in those days either. You know, I feel like with social media, it's that FOMO, fear of missing out, and I feel like that's another reason why people. I remember back in the day when 11 o'clock seemed super late. Now 11 o'clock right now,
it really did.
Yeah. 11 o'clock used to seem like super late at night. Now 11 o'clock is just normal awake time. Yeah. Whereas, you know, right now people go to sleep at 1:30, 2, and they literally get up and go to work at 6. But the idea of telling people, you know, even 25 years ago, hey man, you're gonna be up until 1 o'clock on a weekday and you got to go to work at 6 will be unfathomable. Because people literally used to go to sleep at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know, and kids, kids used to be in, man, when I was a little kid, you had to be in bed at about 6:37. Your day revolved around school, working, and school, studying, and going to sleep.
That wasn't me.
I ain't gonna lie, CT, we had a bedtime. Like we did have about 9, but we didn't go to sleep. We just be in the room up, and then every once in a while they come in. I told you I keep that noise down, but you know, nah, you're not lying about that. But you know, one thing I really loved about our days, CT, is that the lack of electronics. It really gave room for our imagination. To really be creative, man. And I mean, man, CT. The things I'm talking about is so true. Give me 4 bread twisty ties, like maybe some pipe cleaner straws, an empty roll of toilet paper, and some tinfoil. Man, the things I could make. I mean, everything from a little rocket to a ship to just my imagination was just basic. I mean, things around me. CT, back when we were young, before you don't you know that game Run Man or whatever, when you would run and gotta dodge the stuff and hop and run and dodge and stuff, right? Subway Surfer. Well, you know, Subway Surfer, the game they got the apps now. All right, well anyway, it's a game called Subway Surfer where like you just gotta run and dodge stuff. The first version of that was when we be in a store and you take your fingers and you do this along the wall all day and you be jumping and you take your fingers along the wall and jump and stuff. So our imagination and just the things we would think to do was just beyond this world, man. It really was. We were just more creative, I would say. They're duller now. If they're not being shown it, if it's not in their face, then they can't imagine it. I digress. My mic is muted.
Crown Reese with the $5 super chat again says, when you pray at night and ask God to wake up at a certain time, you will wake up on that time. Fact. Yeah, I've actually put that out there. Yes, I've asked to wake up at a certain time, and boom, yeah, that was our alarm clock back in the day. Uh, I'll tell you what else was our alarm clock too back in the day. A fresh pair of shoes or some nice clothes. Used to spread it out on the bed and say, "Oh, I can't. I'm going to kill their asses in
Hey,
the morning."
what? I can't
Yeah,
wait till.
yeah, yeah. HB,
Oh man, you ain't
look,
lying.
are people addicted to? Oh, wait, I got another super chat. Big Ant with the $10 super chat says, "What up, chaotic? Go to basic training and be late, and you'll get up on time for the rest of your life." Oh, I never served, but salute to you, man. I can understand now. With HB, man, what's up, man? Are people addicted to TV, streaming services, or social media? Go ahead, sir.
Salute, CT, man. I don't know. I don't know necessarily about people, but me personally, I'm definitely addicted to YouTube.
Mm,
I watch all types of stuff on YouTube. I love the live panels. Like that's like one of my favorite things. I like trolling people too. That's like
mm.
I'm kind of addicted to trolling.
Yeah,
Um, what else? I really like those movie recaps too. Like I've watched probably like 1,000 movie recaps. Those things
yeah,
are.
yeah.
But yeah. I think
Remember, you used to troll me with that board.
well, oh yeah, that you had that kitchen
Yeah,
board behind
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Nah, yeah.
But go ahead though.
You came a long way, man. You definitely
Yeah,
came a long way. But
yeah.
yeah, man, no, I feel like Instagram, like I'm definitely addicted to like the voluptuous women looking at the the real big booty girls on Instagram. Um,
Mm. Go
I
ahead.
I stopped watching porn, so that's like my kind of. I used to be addicted
Mm.
to porn too. I'm not gonna lie.
So how long have you been on this abstinence from porn?
About maybe like a year and 2 months, something like that.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's like really hard for me not to at least look at like chicks on Instagram,
Okay.
especially the BBWs, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm like
Yeah.
I'm always trying to introduce myself to women and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Let me ask you a question, brother. What age you think you got addicted to porn, or how long? Like how long? Like when you think
oh
like when did you realize? You know what? I'm on this. You know.
probably as young as I can remember. I think when I was young, I would get real like turned on to like certain scenes in movies. Like I remember
Okay.
what's like a
Don't go too deep, but I got you.
remember that one till Dusk Till Dawn where what's her name?
No,
Uh
I haven't heard anyone say ever
Are you
on
talking
here.
about the
It's Queen
vampire
of the
movie?
Dam.
yeah, the vampire movie. What's that chick's name?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And she had the snake on her
Yeah.
around the bar. Yeah, she had
I
the snake, and she was on a little strip tease. Yeah, I know you're
Selma
talking about.
Hayek. Selma Hayek. Yeah. I used to play
So
that
yeah,
part
I know what
over
you're
and
talking
over.
about. Yeah, that was a
And
good movie. That was a good movie.
other the other Selma Hayek movie where she had sex with Antonio Banderas. I would like replay that over, like I had it on tape and I would replay it over like hundreds of times. Like I feel like I was always kind of addicted to porn. Like as soon as
Interesting.
the first time I saw a pair of titties, I got addicted to porn.
King Spark, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. Says I'm addicted to good weed. Yes, King Spark.
I concur, sir.
Dispensary, salute to you, King Spark. Thank you so much, man. For the $10. If this was $19.99, I would definitely take that $10 and get a bag of weed with that, a $10 holla, but they don't have those anymore, if I'm not mistaken. HB, have you ever went on a date with the girl and she took a photo of the food? And how did you feel about that?
No, I'm not. I'm usually just trying to smash. I'm not really to go on a date type. I don't really do the dates. So
okay.
It's usually like for me, I'm just bringing over some food and I'm trying to smash something, or I'm ordering some takeout. I'm trying to smash something. So yeah, don't really do the dates too much. Not like that. And if I do the date, like she's like into me so much to the point where she's not even looking at her phone. Like I don't. That's honestly that's never happened to me. Like
so do you think and you could be honest, do you think women look at their phones more when the dude she's on a date with is ugly or uglier?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just think that they're not that interested in you. If she's on her phone, if she's with you and she's on her phone, she's not that interested. Just move on.
Okay.
Like man, when I'm with a girl, they be hiding their phones like that. I don't even see their phone when I'm with them. So
really,
if she on her phone, she's probably not interested unless she's she has some like job or something like that, or where she has to have her phone nearby. But I try to date broke chicks. So
do you remember back in the day when being up past 11 was like you thought 11 was super late, but do you feel like social media and streaming services have made our it's thrown off our time equilibrium?
Definitely. Like I feel like back in the 90s, early 2000s, everything was so regimented. Like
yeah,
you would have like the morning cartoons, and you'd have like the day shows, the TV shows during the day, and you'd have the shows. And once like Jay Leno and Conan came on, that's when it was time to go to sleep, man. But now,
it's funny. I used to stay up and watch Jay Leno, and I had HBO, so I would watch Real Time with Bear Mar growing up. So I would watch all these late shows, man, and it's a whole different world now, man. Like there's no truth really. It's hard to find the truth. You got to go on the third page to find it,
I got a fact for you guys. A typical social media user spends 2.5 hours on average every day using social media. The world spends more than 10 billion hours every day using social media. The world today has 6.6 billion smartphone users, meaning almost 83% of the world's population owns a smartphone. Did you guys know that?
I'm surprised it's not more.
I believe that. I believe
that's
it.
not hard to believe.
They have phones in Africa, and the country's government owns the telecommunication systems. So part of their like food stamps is a certain amount of data, and then once they go over that data, they have to pay for it.
Oh, I didn't know that at all. Now, what country in Africa is that?
I can't think of it right now, but I'm pretty sure it's like that in Kenya. I'm pretty sure because Kenya is one of those more advanced ones over there.
According to this stat, in 2008, 10% of Americans had social media or a social media profile. By 2021, it was 79%. So where do you guys see the state of social media within 10 to 15 years?
I see it moving. It's already moving, CT, because they're starting to go into that metaverse stuff. If you look on Facebook now, it says Meta. It's not going to be what we know. People are actually going into like chat rooms, and you know how sick it is, CT. I don't know if you heard that story. This woman, she put a real story up talking about how she was raped in the metaverse. She went to a party in the metaverse and got raped. She got gang raped.
I did a story on that. Yeah.
But to think, really? And you real deal made a big deal out of it.
I saw the
like you real deal. You know how many times I played Grand Theft Auto and I've had dudes rob me, shoot me.
You just like
I don't go file a real police report.
No, it was. I saw that.
Yeah, man, she real deal. So so you're asking in 15 years. CT, look at what's happening now. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
There's a movie to show what it's going to be, and I think it was called Double or something like that. But it's basically everyone didn't live their lives outside their houses because it was so dangerous. So what they did was they hooked up to this machine, and it made a humanoid robot version of them that looked just like them, so they could be forever young, you know, and that's what would go out into the world and go and do their daily tasks and things like that.
And we're getting to that point right now. I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Clarence Carr with the $20 super chat says, CT, I love your channel. They are not ready for you. Thank you so much, Clarence. You get the Deion Sanders Must Be the Money. I turned pro in 1989 when I signed that dotted line. Clarence.
I swear.
Clarence, thank you so much for that $20 super chat. I'm definitely am going to. I mean, these super chats help out so much with the channel, and you know, with inflation, especially going to the bars, like a Cosmo probably cost about, I don't know, $19-20. So thank you so much. You just bought me a Cosmo. I've got to come up with some way to pay for give a tip out. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That $20, Clarence. Guys, give a big thumbs up to Clarence. Salute to you, Clarence. Or either I could just go, get some high level coffee from Starbucks, like a Mocha Laka Americano. Salute to you, man. Oh yeah, back to what you were saying, Rock. Yeah, I think they're preparing us to stay in the homes. COVID, DoorDash, Grubhub. You can order anything you want. It can be at your house in 24 hours. Little knickknacks could be there within an hour or two. I think they're conditioning us to stay in the homes, and they've done it with movies, man. I would say Matrix was like one of the first ones that kind of did it, where everybody's like linked up to something. Another movie that does a real good job, a more real world, is Ready Player One. Where everybody's just linked up to this like video game or some sorts. So yeah, you might be on to something here, man.
There's another one that's called, have you ever seen Equilibrium?
I've seen Equilibrium. Yeah, good. That was a good damn movie. Yeah.
We have to think about this real quick. We're already living in the future. I heard these stats earlier. The number one hotel doesn't own any hotels.
Yeah.
The number one retailer doesn't own any retail stores, which is Amazon. We can go down the list.
Yeah.
And this is it. It didn't happen as quick as I thought it would. I thought this would happen a little bit quicker, to be honest, because this whole time I've just been sitting back and waiting for this stuff to happen. But I feel like it's definitely accelerating, especially with all this. The transgender is just, I can't wrap my head around that other than it's demonic, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty evil, and it's disgusting.
Evil.
Yeah,
it is straight evil. I don't give a shit how much weed you smoke. You can't forget that shit.
HP, are you on a party bus or something, by the way?
No. I drive trucks now.
Oh, you drive trucks? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in my 18-wheeler.
Oh, okay. It's a lot of money in that, man. Yeah. Let's see here. Thank you once again, Clarence, man, for that $20 super chat. I really appreciate it.
What a party!
When we were kids, suicides were pretty much unheard of amongst children. Are we going to see a lot more 9 and 10-year-olds hanging themselves and cutting? Are we going to? Yeah,
definitely. I think part of it is because kids have access to. Me personally, I think a lot of this stuff, why boys especially are killing themselves and doing, things that kill themselves. A lot of them aren't getting any coochie.
Yeah,
and porn is so readily available now.
Yeah,
like, they could just get on their phone and watch porn. So, once they get to the age where they can have sex, now they're not even. They can't even have sex now. I saw Mr. S in the chat say 16 and 17-year-olds are developing ED now. That's like insane. I couldn't even imagine.
Dysfunction?
Yeah.
Because they're jacking off all day.
How in the hell you even come across that statistic, bro?
Because they're jacking
off.
They
playing whack-a-mole so much they burning they out. Oh my gosh.
They burn.
Think about it. When we were kids, we had when we were kids, we had VHS tapes, and you had to I mean, we didn't have phones. So when your parents left out the house for like an hour, that was your opportunity. But you had to go to the right parts. You had to listen in and see if somebody was coming. You know, you had to come up with escape plans. So because you didn't want your mom or dad to catch you choking the chicken. Whereas these kids now, they can choke the chicken all day and stuff anywhere they want to. Yeah. And so, I can see how I can definitely see how a lot of these boys are getting ED. Wow, damn.
Hey,
go ahead.
Last part, CT, real quick, and also even down to access. Like I remember we was coming up, like we had to sneak to the porn shop. We had to show fake IDs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just saying, like, just even down to like, it wasn't like you could just pick a phone up and just, and just go to Pornhub and just put yes for 18. Nah, like. Yeah. You had to actually go get it or try to seek it. Something now, I mean, and it's like it's no parental guidance. It's like just are you 18? And all you do is just put yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like I digress. My mic is muted.
Rilla, what's up, man? Rilla?
I think he's watching porn.
Rilla, you're on mute. You're on mute, Rilla. Okay, I don't know what's up with Rilla. TEC says that's hilarious. I never heard of the choke the chicken. Yeah, TEC. Wow. When we were kids, and like I said, social media and access to porn or access to all these devices, streaming services are so instantaneous that the stimulus that these kids have now, we didn't have that as kids.
Yeah.
And so I can understand that. Like these kids can just go off to the bathroom somewhere. Bada bing, bada boom. Like I said before, TC, when I was a kid, you were lucky to get a good VHS tape with 2 scenes on it. And you had to go, it was complicated to watch porn back in the day. And now I'm telling you, I can understand it, man. And then, like I said, when we were kids, we only knew like the little kids around us. We didn't know kids that lived all over the place. So these little kids now, they're looking in the mirror, they're realizing that they're ugly compared to kids over in Greece and China. So they're looking and they're like, damn, whereas, like I said, when we were kids growing up, it was nothing for one of us to call each other ugly and joke around. But now these kids have all types of kids to look at now. It's too much stimulus for them. So that's probably why they're hanging themselves between third period. Chicago Rilla, what's up? I shouldn't have said that. Chicago Rilla, what's up?
Hey, what up, Chaotic?
What's up, man? Are you addicted to TV streaming services or social media, sir?
You know what? I actually feel like I am. I listen to you niggas on the way to work, and then I listen while I'm at work, right?
Go ahead, sir.
And this is why I make the argument that terrestrial radio is dead. The pandemic has moved a lot of people from.
Go ahead.
Like when I was in Atlanta, you'll be surprised to know this, Chaotic. I used to listen to Herman Cain, Neil Boortz, and what's the other one? It was 3 of them. They used to be on in Atlanta on 95.5. I used to listen to conservative radio all the time because I just enjoy hearing different perspectives, honestly. And so even now, I just can't find that in mainstream right now. So like, the Tucker Carlsons, the Dan Bonginos, like that's, to me, those are not authentic perspectives. I think those are manufactured perspectives.
Yeah.
But I think when you come to these spaces and you hear different people talking and giving different, like what's crazy is honestly in this space, you've seen where Trump increased his numbers in terms of the black male vote. You see a lot more of those voices active in this space. And I enjoy hearing that perspective. And it to the point where it's like the dudes that you would consider hood niggas, right? Seriously. No, don't make that face.
No, I'm looking. Go ahead.
No, listen, honestly. The dudes that you would normally say, oh, I wouldn't expect them to have a conservative perspective. They're saying, no, I'm conservative. I don't necessarily lean Republican, but my values and what I believe in are conservative. And I think that's the point that people are missing. But I did want to chime in on a couple of things. So yes, I do listen. I do feel like I'm addicted to social media, not so much as my Instagram and Facebook, although I am active in the Lapeef group. I don't think you over there, Chaotic. I've been flaming niggas 7 ways to Sunday over there. The Facebook group. But just in terms of listening to YouTube, to and from work, absolutely. And then I got to do a better job, and I'm going to plug this real quick because I'm an investor, of being active on Fanbase, which is a Black-owned social media app founded by Isaac Hayes III, which is Isaac Hayes' son. And it's an excellent app, and they have an excellent conversation every Monday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Monday marketing meeting. There's a ton of information that comes out that I think is absolutely amazing. So, but I got a couple of things I want to comment on. Go ahead, Chaotic.
Rilla, remember back in the day when famous people were famous? I think do you think social media has, like, for example, if Jay-Z or Beyonce or LeBron were to walk past people now, they'd be like, oh, okay, here goes Jay-Z. Do you feel like social media, seeing these people all day, every day, 24 hours a day, has desensitized us to the point where there are no more famous people?
Great question. My initial response is because I was in Atlanta where it was common. The time that I was in Atlanta, again, I lived in Atlanta for 20 years and I moved down there in 95. It was common. So Atlanta was the first place that taught me. Like in Chicago, if I saw somebody famous, I might have fanned out, right? I didn't start fanning out over famous people till I met like successful business people. You know what I mean? Like, the Chaotic. Listen, hear me when I say this, bro. When you see people fan out over like a celebrity because they sing or rap, like my experience in Atlanta is that I got to meet like business people through Black Enterprise. Rest in peace to Earl Graves.
Yeah.
Right. So when I met people that I saw him publishing about, I was in full fan. Like I ain't gonna even lie. I was bugging out. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't think that social media has dumbed that down because you have a younger audience, that you see people responding to these celebrities, right? So maybe if I met Nas or Rakim, I'll probably be a lot more poised, to be honest, because I don't even, bro, like in real life, if you go to my Facebook, if you go back into like the early 2000s or 2010s or whatever, you'll see a lot of celebrity pictures. I purposely do not take pictures with celebrity now. I don't, because it's, you put your pants leg on one at a time like me. You bleed the same blood I bleed. So it's no need, and we don't have any real business dealing. So what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, but be honest, Rilla. You almost dropped a tear when you heard Michael Jackson die. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You
maybe Prince, not Michael Jackson. That's
I didn't either. Yeah. But Michael Jackson was still
crazy.
If Michael Jackson had if he had a Twitter or a Instagram account back in the 90s, would he be as famous now?
So Jesus Christ, dude. So here's the thing. You know what propelled those artists in the 70s and the 80s? And you're right. It was the mystique. We didn't know.
Yep.
We didn't know.
We didn't know him.
We didn't know who you slept with. We could only assume that Prince, as androgynous as he was, right? We could only assume that you really nailed Sheila E., Apollonia, that doggone Vanity, man, whoever else, Wendy, and who was the other chick? The two white girls that he had. Like, we didn't know. We didn't know, if Michael Jackson was really like how he was, so on and so forth. But in this age where everybody is doing everything to get attention, I don't think. Let me answer your question, bro. My bad. If
You're good.
if social media was available then, no, Michael Jackson would not be as infamous and famous as he was,
Keep it
mainly
real.
because people do not pay attention to talent, right? As much as they used to. They
Yeah.
don't. They don't. They don't pay attention to talent. And number two, his life was a mystery. So everything we hung on, like, dang. So, like, even with Prince now, if you look at Prince, it's like they're opening up his estate. He would have never went for this. We never knew that Prince paid for Lauryn Hill's kids to be taken care of while she was serving prison time. We never knew that he chimed
I
in
forgot she went to the penitentiary. Damn,
for
I
tax
totally forgot.
evasion,
Yeah,
right?
for tax evasion. Yeah.
Right. And he took care of her kids. You understand what I'm saying, bro? Like, we wouldn't have known this type of stuff. And that was the thing that kept us. Even if you get into lifestyles of certain entertainers, it was alleged that this person leaned this way or that way. We didn't know.
Yeah. We didn't
We
know.
didn't
We
know.
didn't know about
We
their
didn't know.
political affiliations.
We didn't know about the Rock Hudsons. We didn't know about, you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't Marlon Brando. We didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying when I say that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, he was
Okay, all right.
supposedly gay. Yeah.
All right. I did have some.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could say that over here, but I did
Oh,
have
yeah,
some
yeah,
questions because I don't know who one of the brothers was. That was, and one of the things that set me off in the comments was, you know, I always get triggered, not triggered. It always alerts me when I hear grown men talking about trolling, and I don't know if that brother is still on the panel, but I just want to ask y'all, like, what is it about trolling? And it may be a disconnect for me because I'm old, I'm black.
I'll answer that question being the king troll.
Yeah, I don't have a clue. I don't indulge.
Trolling is the art of it's a multifaceted art. It provides entertainment, comedy, wittiness. It's the ability for a person to create a character that invokes emotion from not only the chat but a panel. Howard Stern was a master troller. He used to call into CNN and pretend to be like, let's say, for example, something happened in the Middle East. He would call into CNN and prank them as a general. And they'd say, oh, wait a minute, that's just Howard Stern trolling us again. It's the art of making fun of things that are not supposed to be made fun of, breaking the ice off.
No, I get that part. I'm where I'm confused, chaotic, is that because you're a learned man and you are a respected citizen, right? You're an upstanding citizen. You've served on the community side. You've done law enforcement. You've been in our schools.
Yeah.
You're an alpha. Wait, let me clear for the people. Fraternity, not for, because I don't do that alpha and red pill and all that other goofy stuff. Okay, so knowing what you know and the principles of everything that's been instilled in you, which I would believe, from your rearing, right, to the man you are now, just walk me into when it's acceptable for a grown ass motherfucking man to say,
watch the F-bombs.
My bad. A grown man who has responsibilities, mortgages, car notes, insurance, life insurance, all these obligations, and then it's acceptable for us to troll. So, like, in my day, that's what got the taste slapped out your mouth. If we were in person,
physical violence,
but online, I get it. Well, on Twitch, anybody can do anything.
Well, really, let me answer this real quick. And this is a great question. I could understand if we lived in Czechoslovakia, Ukraine, one of the shithole countries in Europe or Africa, where life is hard. America, we're living in the lap of luxury. The streets are made of gold.
Okay, you're answering
my question.
Trees. Yep.
Give me a second. The trees have honey coming down them. we in America, we're too uptight, man. And nothing in this country is hard. So when somebody's trolling, even when people troll me, I've known for a long time that HB2N has trolled me under different accounts. I just never said anything because it's beauty in trolling.
Wait,
Because
no,
I don't take myself so seriously.
Chaotic.
No.
Can I ask you a question?
wait,
Chaotic.
from my account, sir. I don't.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
but let me ask Chaotic a
Might
question
be
because I know
Can I give you an answer though, real quick? Can I give you an answer why it's acceptable to be a troll?
No,
Because people's ideas have to be challenged. And just
no, that's not that's not trolling. But
So what are you getting at here?
who's that brother?
What are you getting at?
Rock. No. I was just trying to get an understanding because I'm trying to get an understanding.
Just to put it in in one word, it's fun.
I get that. Here's the thing. I understand that. I get that. In the barbershop, you would say you talking sugar honey iced tea. I get that.
Ranking on people. Yeah.
No.
I consider trolling is the online ranking on someone.
Yeah.
It just seems that here's the difference. There's no barrier. So if you and I are face to face, we know that capping is going. Well, in my day, we called it capping. Well, in Chicago, we call it capping on each other, right? So whoever that Chaotic, stop, man.
I mean, what are you getting at here?
I wanted to understand because you're the master troll, so I wanted to hear from the master troll.
You've been trying to say something for 3-4 minutes.
No. Literally, I had it written down, bro. I'm
a bigger troll than him. I just don't troll.
No, listen. Somebody, wait. Here's the deal. Somebody send $50 to Chaotic right now, and you can pull me down. All right, bounty on me.
I want you to get to the point. That's it.
Yeah, let's get to the point, Rilla. What are you getting at?
No,
you normally get to the point all the time.
Listen. I literally pulled up because there was a brother up here talking about trolling, and I wanted to understand from you guys' perspective about trolling. Fair enough.
We're telling you.
Fair enough. I'm not tripping on that, bro. So here's my other thing. We can move forward. So the brother that was talking about like he was just trying to smash. Mm-hmm. Who was that? Is that SHB?
That would be me, sir. Yes.
Okay. So walk me through that because we talk about these women who are unruly and they for the streets and they this, that, and the third, wooty woo. I mean, a Chaotic, pull all that up. I'm moving on. I'm cool on the trolling. I just wanted to understand about grown men trolling. But when we're talking about just trying to smash, walk me through that.
Well, usually it starts with a woman. I usually don't walk a man through that process. So that's usually the first step. Usually I try to find a girl who's
No. I'm saying, so are you one of the dudes that's saying like, hey, I'm not even trying to create family. I don't care about the community or the community. I'm doing me. I'm just gonna pump and dump. And then I'm gonna complain about these hoes online when Chaotic has a show.
No. I don't necessarily complain about them. I enjoy different women and getting to know women and having fun with them. I feel like if you're not trying to marry a woman, then it's just you're just having a good time. So I haven't met a woman that I'm ready to get married to. So it's just all for fun for me. But I mean, I respect all the men that are out there, taking care of their kids and building up the Black community and all of that stuff. I respect all of that. I respect you guys. You guys are doing the Lord's work. Me, I'm in it for me. I'm in it for myself.
So let me ask you this. So in the next 10, 15 years, and for the community that I work in, I see people who don't look like me. And they absolutely understand that the cornerstone to wealth building and creating community, sustainable community, and even other communities that I visit, because Chicago is very diverse, regardless of what they report on the news to you guys. They understand family first. So it's disheartening for me to hear cats talk about that look like me, share the same skin hue as me. To say, I'm out here to pump and dump. And wait, hold on. Let me finish. It disheartens me to hear y'all say, like, I'm just having fun with you hoes, And yeah, y'all should be virtuous for the next man, but for right now, I'm gonna turn your ass out and make you disqualified for the next man, right? And then we get online and we have 8-hour panels about chaotic. You said I can't cuss on here.
You can cuss on here, but I'm just trying to figure out what do you. I mean, really, you know, I rock with you. But
No,
what
I
do you-
get it. I get it.
What are you getting at here? What do you? Because the
Yeah,
rappers,
just go ahead.
they talk about
Because women
they
have
talk-
free choice also.
No.
They
I don't
have-
want to go back into the music conversation, chaotic.
Yeah,
Just
go
the,
ahead, bro.
just,
Yeah.
just the part where he was talking about I'm just trying to smash. And this
Just-
whole concept of what we talk about mostly in this space is around what single mothers.
Yeah.
Women
Well-
ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Real-
You know, they ain't good for nothing but pump and dump. But we contribute to the problem, right? That we create, and then we say, "Oh no. Our women aren't good enough.
Didn't you just
Now I
ask
gotta
him if
go
he's using
overseas."
protection or
Yeah.
not?
No, I think.
Wait, hold on. You saying am I projecting?
I think.
Wait, hold on. I just want to
Wait,
answer
wait.
brother's question.
No, ask him. You can answer your question by just asking him if he uses protection or not.
No, I don't care
think
about him
he's
using
running
protection.
around making babies.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm not
talking
running
about.
around making
Okay.
babies.
Yeah,
Gorilla,
send $50, chaotic.
honestly, I personally think that guys who sit on panels complaining about women are pussies. Me personally. So I just enjoy the company of women. I don't sit around
Yeah.
complaining about their behavior or
What?
their nature. I could care less about any of that stuff. Honestly.
Real quick.
This is America. They can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Back to the main topic. No offense, Rilla. Angry Snowman, salute to you, sir. Are social media addictive, streaming services addictive, etc., sir?
Salute to you, also chaotic, and everyone else on the panel. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah. I saw your message, Rilla. Go ahead.
But no, I don't have. I wouldn't so much say I have any social media addictions anymore. I used to watch a lot of TV. I used to be more of a gamer. You know, I used to be addicted to video games. That was what my addiction was. And then I gave that up probably, or I was about 32 when I gave that up.
What was your favorite video game?
Call of Duty franchise.
How many hours per day did you play it?
Dude, there were times when I was in it that I would play for, 18 hours straight. Not even playing.
Jesus Christ. Dude, did you use the bathroom?
Yeah, I had Gatorade bottles that I sat beside me.
Oh my God.
Were you depressed? Were you married at the time? Why would you play a video game for 18 hours straight?
I was single. At that point in time, I was single. I was out womanizing. I was out treating women the same way that they treated men. So
Okay.
all I did was go to work, play video games, and then spend time with my kids when my kids were at the house.
So your lifestyle was pretty much, you weren't depressed, but you were living a hedonistic lifestyle in the video game. Yeah, in the video game, pretty much.
It helped fill a void.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what it was. It was more so filling a void because, I'd sit and you had specific people that you'd link up with every time you get online, and you get in your little teams and sit and shoot the shit and chat and all that good stuff. So
you wouldn't let your son, I know you have a son, you wouldn't let him play video games all day, would you?
no, he gets 2 hours on his Nintendo Switch, and that's it.
Per
Every
day
day.
or per week?
Per day.
Okay. 2 hours. Okay. And the counter to that is how many hours of studying?
He has to come home and he reads for 45 minutes to an hour every day.
Oh, wow.
He has to do when he comes home. He usually on Mondays and Wednesdays he has math homework that he does. He has to do that as soon as he gets home. He has vocabulary that he does every day. Usually when I'm home, I have him write his vocabulary words out once or twice each. That way he can practice on his penmanship, because actually we got his progress report today, and he was 1 away from having straight A's, dude.
Oh.
He had all A's except for on his writing. His writing was a B.
Congrats, man.
Do you know who Harry Belafonte is?
No, I do not.
I didn't think so. Okay.
He's
okay.
the
Wait, what?
banana.
I'm
He
just
knows the song. You remember Beetlejuice? Remember
Yeah.
the movie? Remember the song they were dancing to?
The banana boat. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Harry Belafonte. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he
I
just
guess I know
died.
who
He's
he is now.
famous,
Oh,
famous
no,
black.
How old was he, Chaotic?
No kidding.
96.
Damn, he lived a long. He lived.
And I,
he
yeah,
lived
and I
very-
also want to point out all of this Tether and Anchor Baby and
Talk about it, Chaotic.
What do they call us?
Are
Ado.
those-
I want to talk
No,
about
no, Angry Snowman. No, that's not what they call him.
I want to just talk about how Tariq Nasheed has done a great disservice because some of the most famous, cherished Americans that are black
1,000.
in this country
Yep.
literally are first generation born. Harry Belafonte's father was born in Jamaica. His mom was
Really?
born in Scotland or something. So I
Really?
just want to point out that every time this stupid idiot Tariq talks about, oh, you're not ADOS, I just want to point out the fact that some of the very cherished black Americans that were always cherished are first generation. Cicely Tyson, another first gen black. Want to point that out too. Go ahead. guys.
Wait, Chaotic.
Louis Farrakhan,
Can we-
first generation
right.
born.
You know, his
wait, but he
the
was
type of
he
music
was
he played.
he's from where? Bermuda?
Who? Louis Farrakhan?
Yeah.
His mother was from I want to say Guyana.
I want to say
I can't remember.
I want to say he was born in, but you're right. And
Louis
listen, let me say
Farrakhan's
this.
American?
He's a
thought
first
he
generation born.
Let me
America.
say this too though, for this FBA and this ADOS conversation, and this is how tribal we are. And Chaotic, you may need to do a show on this, bro. Honestly, and on tribalism amongst us, right? Because
Yeah.
we're so because gangs are tribal, right?
So let me ask you this, real.
Wait, hold on, just really quick, Angry Snowman. I'll take that question, but I'm just want to say this really quick because my position is this, and I don't have a channel, so I don't get a chance to speak on this. That FBA 80 shit is nothing but gang banging, and it's shit.
Keep it real.
It's full of shit, fam.
Keep it real.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because if I'm riding with Chaotic, and regardless of what y'all think about Chaotic, like all that Tether Baby shit, and I hear people lobbing it at people. Like I got a homeboy that was born in Nigeria, right? And he experiences the same motherfucking thing that I experience here. And let me tell you this, because I know him from grammar school. And when I sit down and talk to dude, and he could trace his lineage, this is the truth of the matter, Chaotic. When I sit down and talk to dude, and he breaks down his full Nigerian name, and he's Yoruba. Okay, when he breaks down his full Nigerian name, he says, well, this portion comes from my dad, this portion comes from my granddad, this portion comes from my great granddad, and my great great granddad. Why? Because that's part of the naming ceremony. I'm like, damn, do you know how many people, like how many of us over here, because our legacy has been cut off and we can only count back to maybe our great grandfather or our great grandmother or whatever, like how much we would love to have. Anyway, just that part that you touched on with the FBA and the ADOS and what Tariq Nasheed is doing, and this whole conversation around ADOS and, you know, tethers, and people are abusing what a tether is. Y'all really need to understand. Y'all really need to do the knowledge before y'all just start throwing words around, man.
Who do you think is more tribalistic, white people or black people?
Black people.
Black people.
I'm gonna tell you why white people aren't tribalistic. Because white people, if you look at Italians, if you look at Scott, I would just talk about in Chicago, and maybe I think about Boston. If you think about like Italians, Scottish, British, whatever, they all assimilate into white for the greater good and for the greater benefit based on their skin complexion. Black people will still separate themselves based on their block, based on how you talk, based on how you dress, based on where you live, based on who you are, who you associate with. We are very tribalistic people, and that's the part that's killing us.
You want to know where white people do actually separate themselves, though, and they do it all the time?
Probably when y'all get to classism, because I experienced that in Detroit. Yeah.
Well, they separate themselves by rich and poor, and they do it all the time.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but I agree with that. But nevertheless, a rich white is going to hire a whole bunch of poor white. So he's still
not necessarily Chaotic. I mean, there's like, I grew up in a town where if you didn't have the right last name, you weren't getting a job at a lot of the local factories.
But that's more nepotism than it is classism. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, you
But
know, 'cause
generally
you got to think, because you got to think like in the Midwest, there's a lot of these small towns in the Midwest that they're all predominantly either
Yes.
German or
Yeah, he
predominantly
right. Yeah,
Irish,
he's
or
right on that.
predominant-
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
right.
I can tell you
predominantly Dutch.
the white family that I grew up with, it was exactly like that. There was a poor side and there was a rich side, and they would never get together for very much of anything. Maybe Christmas.
They'll look. Rich people in a white family will snub and stick their nose up to the poor people in their family, even if
Oh,
they're
wow.
kids.
Without a
Yeah.
doubt.
I mean, but black people do the same. But what I'm saying is,
Rilla.
They don't?
Are you for real, Rilla? Let's
Wait.
be honest.
Wait. Hold on.
Let's
Wait,
be
chaotic.
honest.
Wait, chaotic. Wait. You're saying rich people in black families won't snub their nose to the poor folk in their family?
I'm not saying that it's not true, but a
I
lot
think
of
they're
times,
willing-
I think you guys still have more family loyalty than we do.
A lot of times, blacks with money, they still rock with their family members who have less than them. They still will rock with. I've seen that a lot.
Okay. Let me say it this way.
You might
I'll
talk
concede
shit
the
about
point.
each other, but
No, I'll concede the point. On that. But to is that Angry Snowman?
yeah.
Okay. To your point, though, I will say this: when I lived in Detroit, and this is the one thing, and I don't know if it's the same throughout other parts of Midwest, but I know in Detroit, you didn't see a clear division until there to the wealth gap. You're exactly right, because poor working class people in Detroit, they are together. That's why 8 Mile, the movie 8 Mile, that's why it resonated with so many people. Now, Detroiters didn't like, because they was like 7 Mile, 8 Mile, whatever, whoopie wool, and that's more again gangbanging stuff. But when you talk about classism, yeah, poor whites and poor blacks in Detroit are shoulder to shoulder. Working class blacks and whites are shoulder to shoulder. It's not until you get to upper middle class, lower upper class, and above that you start seeing that division. So he's spot on that. Salute
I want to
to
say that Louis Farrakhan, his mother was from St. Kitts. Just to let people know in the chat. Angry Snowman, so you say you play video games for 18 hours at one point. Did you ever get addicted to social media back in the day? Or
there was a point where I was addicted to Facebook. You know, it was probably after I put down the video games and I started getting into public speaking. You know, when I was real active in the militia movement. You know, and I was trying to put information out. So I spent a lot of time very heavily on specifically Facebook, you know, doing live streams on there, writing articles and stuff. And, you know, I was always constantly checking. Dude, I am not a white nationalist. I'm an American nationalist.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You said militia group, so I recant that.
That's where there's a misnomer there, man, because you do understand that there are black militia groups all over America.
You damn right. Yeah. Now that I'll agree with, that are straight black nationalists. But go ahead, though. Go ahead.
So to say that a militia group is white nationalist is you know, kind of a dog whistle. You know, but anyhow, that's all. I'd say Facebook was probably the only thing I ever really had an addiction to, and it was more so just to see if I was getting traffic and people were reading what I was putting out, because I was actually trying to. It was early on when I was trying to educate people on the Constitution and actually, you know, care to you know, share some of the information and knowledge that I had gained with other people. Now at this point, I don't even give a shit if people have the information. I really don't, you know, because people are either going to listen or they aren't, you know, at this point of the game.
Okay. Shoot, I'm using broken language. Where do you see Gen X in 20 years? Are we going to see more?
Where do I see Gen X in 20 years?
I'm sorry, not Gen X, Gen Z.
I was going to say Gen X is going to be almost in the nursing home in 20 years.
Gen Z, not Gen X, not Gen Z. Go ahead.
Gen Z. We're not talking about millennials. We're talking about Gen Z. Look, there's something weird, you know. There's like a crazy connection between Gen Z and Gen X that I've noticed. because like Gen Z is a lot like Gen X was in the 90s and early 2000s. They don't care so much about this whole race rhetoric. They don't care so much about the whole the you know, all these tropes and narratives that are being pushed out. All they care, what they care about is people getting along, and you know, people being able to coexist with one another. That's what they care about. Kind of the same thing that Gen X was working on. So if Gen X can actually, you know, capitalize off of that and maybe be the what we used to call the pillars of the community to Gen Z, we may actually have a fighting chance with them to have a up and coming generation that could actually turn the country around.
Oh, okay.
Cal, just so I know, what is Gen Z?
I think they're like 15.
They're the millennials. Yeah, they're the millennials kids.
What year were they born? Like, I'm a 70s baby, so I know I'm Generation X. I'm sorry.
I gotta look up
because what I would push back on is that my generation was the latchkey kids.
Yeah,
like we're the ones. Too. Yeah, we're so I don't know.
Survived, man.
Right. So I don't know that Generation Z. So what I often tell people in my peer group is that with these shorties, like, we got to eat that. These shorties, these young men that are coming up now, this happened on our watch, right? I don't know for Generation Z.
Generation Z would be like my son. He's 8 years old. He's Gen Z.
Gen Z is 8 years old. Oh, so
they would be like, I'd say, the kids that are in elementary school going into high school right now.
Is that then who the hell are the millennials?
I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
Okay, so so millennial, then Gen Z. Okay, all right, bet. Okay, so for Gen Z, oh dang, that makes it even worse. Okay. Let me say this, Chaotic, to your question. If you're a millennial and me and Angry Snowman are X, and then our seeds are Jesus Christ.
Well, see, look, I got kids that are actually millennials, and then
I'm with you. Me too. Well. Me too. I'll be 49 in August. But here's the deal: these shorties, their indifference level is on 10. They don't give a F. They don't give a F about family. They don't give a F about authority. They don't care. You dealt with it in the schools, Chaotic. It's the same reason why you can have a teacher from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, getting into it with a girl coming behind the teacher. Can you imagine a kid coming behind the teacher's desk? Even if you was a substitute, Chaotic.
Oh, back in the day,
no. In your day.
Well, I think some of that also with the kids that are like wilding out, that also depends on where they are, you know, where they're growing up, what area of the country they're in. Because
like, 1,000%, yeah. But
I know, like over here in the Midwest, like where my kid goes to school, you don't have those issues.
Well, let me say this: when I grew up, though, this is what I push back on. It's all on the parenting, and I think this is what Chaotic get at a lot of times. It's the parenting and the community. The community that I grew up in, probably similar to you, Angry Snowman. Not only could your mama and your daddy beat your ass,
everybody could beat your ass all the way home.
Beat your ass. Your neighbors could beat your ass. Absolutely. You would have your ass beat 3 times before you reach home, and it already made to your mama. You know, Rilla was acting up in school, and then I got my ass beat for the 4th time.
Yep.
These kids don't have that. Why? Because the sassy ass masculine mamas will march up on Chaotic and say, who is you to tell my kids that he not smart enough, or he didn't do his homework right? I sat there with him doing his homework. Yeah, that means your ass was dumb too.
See, my son, he already knows that I've already told him that you go over to one of your friends' house acting a fool, I fully expect his parents to knock you right upside your head as if they're me. Straight up. You're going, you know, that's just how I feel about it, because that's how I was raised, man. You know, how else are you supposed to have respect for authority unless you have that, you know, that respectful fear of people that can be authority figures to you. You know,
I think you got
Chaotic. Let me ask you this, and then I'm going on. I'm gonna drop down, Chaotic.
Yo,
because you talk about this a lot in terms of the kids and the school and all that other stuff. Do you make a direct correlation? Because you remind me of my my son, Mr. Jones at Lake City Elementary. He was the only black male teacher who wasn't a gym teacher in my son's school, and me and him bonded on a number of things. Very great teacher. But anyway, do you make the correlation that there are so many young men or young people without fathers in the home, and every turn they're meeting female authority
Yep.
in their behavior?
Yep. I totally agree.
I agree too.
That's a good question. Totally agree. 100%.
See, I don't know about you guys, but like me with my kids, I don't know if I would let my kids hang out with a kid or kids that didn't have a mom and a dad at home anymore at this stage in the game, you know, because I don't want them around that kind of environment. You know, that kind of environment breeds chaos. It breeds, disrespect and all that stuff. And I don't want my son around it. You know, I understand that, you know, as he gets older, it's going to be harder and harder to keep him away from it. And he's going to be able to do things behind my back. But while I still have that choice, I want to instill in him that there's certain lifestyles that aren't copacetic to having a quality life.
On that note, guys, I do got to roll up. I got a Zoom meeting tonight at 10 minutes. So I got to roll out a little bit early. But salute to you guys. Any last words, guys? Any last words?
Yeah, put God first. Put God first. Screw all the social media.
Okay.
The power, whatever you're looking for is in yourself. Okay. It's already there.
You know what? I do kind of agree with what he said. You know, I think that I'll be honest with you. Really, you're the same age I am. Did you ever think that you'd see a time where people that believe in God are shunned?
Honestly, yeah.
You did? I didn't. I never thought that I'd see that day come where, you know, not believing in God was the mainstream and people believing in God were shunned and looked down upon. I really didn't. It's crazy to me.
Let me say for my last words before you dip out, Chaotic.
I
absolutely hate Chaotic, but if you enjoy what he does, please, please do not super chat him. Send a cash app. We don't want the white man's YouTube and Google taking 30% of his super chats. We want to make sure this tether gets all of
super chat this man. That way I can get my indemnity check.
We want to make sure he gets all his money. What's the cash app, Chaotic?
I'll put it on the screen for you. Let me see. HB, thank you so much. So are you regional or you do interstate?
I'm Midwest regional, so I'm in all the Midwest. I go as far as like Iowa west, and then I go out to Pennsylvania east. That's about as
okay.
I'm mainly in the Midwest. I went out west, and it freaked me out, so I'm just staying regional for a while.
The Midwest.
No, the West, like the West Coast, like the mountains, the Rocky Mountains and stuff. It's insane out there, man. It's crazy.
It's what out there?
It's insane. Like the winds and then the upgrades and the downgrades. There's like 80-degree drops that you can go down, and when you're fully loaded, you got like 80,000 pounds behind you. You start picking up speed real quick. So, you know, it's I try to stay in the Midwest for the most part.
Well, salute to you, man. I'll be back, HB, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep, absolutely. Angry Snowman, I got to roll out, but any last words, man? Thank you so much for coming through again, and I definitely promote your channel again.
Hey, no problem, and not to mention, I actually have reached that 500 sub goal that I had for July 4th. So, we're actually going to have the 500 sub party this Saturday, where I'm going to be doing a raffle for that $50 gift card to wherever anybody wants, and I'll be giving that away, live Saturday and everything. So everybody that's from Chaotic's channel and from his platform that have come over and helped build our little dysfunctional family over there, I greatly appreciate it. We're going to continue to try and grow and do what we do and do all the wonderful things we do over there with just being who we are. I'll be honest with you. My final words are this, dude. I think people need to go outside and spend less time inside. It's
Yep.
getting ready to be warm out. People need to go outside, soak up some of that vitamin D coming out from the sun. They need to be out and they need to dig their hands in the dirt in the ground and you know, ground themselves, go out fishing with their kids, maybe spend some time hiking in the woods, you know, just go out and actually enjoy life. You know, we had too much of our life taken away from us the last 3 years, you know, and I think people need to go out and basically relearn and remind themselves who they are and what we're about, you know, as human people. We aren't meant to be locked indoors on the computers and in front of cameras and shit all day long. We're
I totally agree, man.
And parent your kids.
Absolutely.
Take it easy, chaotic. Salute
you,
you and everybody. Make sure you support the man. He has a great platform. You know, take it easy, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Angry Snowman. Guys, I'm gonna get the hell up out of here. I got a meeting that, but I already told you guys I was gonna do double headers. So I will be back on tomorrow morning. Salute to you. Positivity is definitely coming your way. Peace.